Tony, you've got to help me. O'Donovan's got evidence linking me to Salvatore. We're sunk.
Calm down. Evidence goes missing every day. Not to mention judges, witnesses, jurors.
I hope you see it that way. One of my men has been following the guy with the evidence. He'll meet you under the overpass in Newport.
So we've got ourselves a high-octane styled mission on our hands, as this is one of those turning point missions in the game. And I always enjoy these types of missions because they're always impactful towards what's going on in the story, and there's always something very intense going on during the gameplay portion of the mission, so it's fantastic stuff, and maybe even more so in this case, because we're going to be pulling out the high weaponry here, and this is something I've mentioned a few times fairly recently, but it's always worth pointing out, in that you can get the rocket launcher from Phil Cassidy's fully cocked gun shop now, so that's exactly what I did off screen, so we're going to be using the rocket launcher and the sniper rifle, although I think the rocket launcher is more important, but anyways, here's the informant.
Tony, the evidence is in that van up ahead. You have to fight your way in, get the van back to DL. Good luck.
So this is where fecal matter really hits the fan in this mission, as we're going to see a bunch of enemies and vehicles that have now spawned in since speaking to that informant. And it's kind of silly because, well, we came from this direction, and it was incredibly vacant when we were over there, but now all of a sudden, after speaking to that guy, you have all these dongs everywhere, you know, it's a real sausage fest. So, I don't know, it's just a bit silly to me, but either way, during this sniper sequence, I suppose you can pull out the rocket launcher and cause a bit of a chain reaction by exploding the vehicles, which would then also kill the enemies nearby, but I don't know, I like the sniper because it makes that cleanup very clean, so, you know, in a situation like this, though, where you have, I mean, speaking of sausage fests, you have 4 dudes inside of a car right there, so yeah, I think that's a nice situation to pull out your rocket launcher, but, you know, it's one of those things where it's to each their own, you know. There's multiple ways of going through this area, and some people might even use a Sanchez or a PCJ and just perform a drive-by on that thing. I don't know, I mean, there's all sorts of different ideas you can come up with, and as always, it's a lot of fun hearing those ideas, but either way, for the rest of the enemies here, which are now dead, you have just a bunch of guys with AK-47s, and in this back area you also have health pickups, which is very nice, because those AK-47s, if you let them really just gang up on you, they can just deplete your health in seconds, so, you know, thankfully they were very nice in giving you both health pickups in this game, so, you know, that's awesome stuff there, but we're not quite out of the woods yet, Miss Taylor Swift, which Out of the Woods is probably the worst song on 1989, but that's just me, and anyways, yeah, it's like that Banshee just comes out of the woodworks, speaking of Out of the Woods, but, you know, it comes out of nowhere, and you have this gunman on it, which has an AK-47, so I think it's in your best interest to just hop out of the rumpo as soon as you see it, and then you can start shooting at it with your assault rifle, which you should have plenty of assault rifle ammo at this point because of all those AK-47s that were dropped back in that lot area. So, you know, it's also not very difficult because I love that in this game you can just target onto vehicles that have enemies inside of them, so you don't have to like worry about free aiming the vehicles or anything. I mean, there are situations where that's handy, but it's like in that situation, it's just fantastic to just target the vehicle and just continue to shoot at it until it explodes, and then you don't have to worry about it. And it's like with the Rumpo, it's not that terrible evading 2 stars in a Rumpo, so I don't bother going to the paint spray or anything, but that Banshee definitely needs to get taken care of ASAP. So anyways, here's a cutscene.
Hey, Don. Took care of that mess for you. Everything should be cool now.
Really?
You got no more links to organized crime. You're whiter than white. You could be the Pope.
The Pope. Watch this.
Although no links can be proved between Donald Love and Liberty City's organized crime, it seems his friendship with mobsters, including Tony Cipriani, have counted heavily against him in voters' eyes. The past few hours have seen his popularity plummet. He is deemed, it seems, unfit for office.
Unfit? Because of you. Yeah, and it's all your fault.
My fault?
Oh, yeah.
My fault.
I can't believe the sacrifices I've made for this town. And do you know what my weakness has been the entire time? humility. And now I'm ruined. Bankrupt. $20 million in the hole. Gone. Bankrupt. Done. Arrivederci. Bankrupt!
So that's a nice touch right there, because there is no mission past music being played, so... because it's not really an accomplishment to pass that mission, because it all went sour for you at the end. But anyways, phone call.
Tony?
Sal, is that you?
Hey, shut up! Speaking to my lawyer here. Tony, I mean Lionel. Listen, they got me. Can you believe it? I'm up Shit's Creek without a paddle. Now get your ass over here. There's stuff I need you to take care of.
Lionel.
So I know Salvatore said to get our ass on over there, but I figure now would be a good time to be doing the extra things required 100% that aren't main storyline missions. And I mean, Donald Love has cut off all ties with us now, or at least it seems that way, and Salvatore Leone is incarcerated, so I don't know, I really can't think of a better time to be doing this. So in the next part, we'll be beginning our long journey of doing these extra things by doing bumps and grinds. So Tony's gonna be a stripper in the next part. So until then, I will see you next time.